A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a dramatic turn of events this weekend, singer-songwriter Finneas O'Connell, known for his Grammy-winning work and as the older brother of pop star Billie Eilish, found himself at the center of a heated protest in downtown Los Angeles against recent immigration raids. Witnesses reported that the atmosphere quickly escalated when the National Guard deployed tear gas on the demonstrators, despite their peaceful intentions. Finneas took to social media to express his outrage, stating, "Tear gassed almost immediately at the very peaceful protest downtown. They're inciting this." His words resonated with many who gathered to voice their concerns about the actions of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, and the involvement of the National Guard. The protests erupted following a series of ICE raids targeting individuals suspected of using false documentation to gain employment. One such raid occurred at a clothing warehouse in the Fashion District, prompting immediate backlash from the community. Protesters gathered not only to oppose the raids but also to support those who had been detained, with many attempting to block ICE vehicles from leaving the scene. The emotional toll was palpable, as demonstrators shared stories of friends and family members who had been taken by ICE agents. Finneas, who has a significant social media following, used his platform to amplify the voices of those affected. He shared a blunt message directed at ICE, ICE. He also reposted messages urging military personnel to reconsider their orders to act against citizens' constitutional rights, directing them to the GI Rights hotline for support. The protests gained momentum as more individuals joined in solidarity, driven by a sense of urgency and fear for their communities. TV producer Travis Helwig, also present at the protests, warned that media coverage might misrepresent the events, framing them as violent when, in reality, they were rooted in a desire to protect loved ones. "A few idiots will throw a rock and it'll take over the entire narrative," he cautioned. "But just know LA is afraid right now because their co-workers were kidnapped at work." As tensions escalated, President Donald Trump announced the deployment of at least 2,000 National Guard troops to Los Angeles, claiming that local officials were unable to manage the situation effectively. If Governor Gavin Newsom of California and Mayor Karen Bass of Los Angeles can't do their jobs, then the federal government will step in and solve the problem, riots and looters, the way it should be solved, he proclaimed on Truth Social. Governor Newsom responded vehemently, expressing his disapproval of the federal government's actions. He characterized Trump's decision to federalize the National Guard as inflammatory, stating that it would only serve to escalate tensions further. "This move is purposefully inflammatory and will only escalate tensions," Newsom wrote. He also indicated that California would consider legal action against the Trump administration for what he deemed an illegal federalization of the National Guard. The deployment of the National Guard has not occurred in California since 1965, and many are concerned about the implications of such a move. Newsom emphasized that the presence of federal troops would erode public trust and exacerbate the already volatile situation. As the protests continue, voices like Finneas's are critical in bringing attention to the plight of those affected by immigration enforcement actions. The emotional and social ramifications of these raids are profound, as communities grapple with fear and uncertainty. With the National Guard now stationed in Los Angeles, the potential for further conflict looms large, raising questions about the balance between law enforcement and the rights of citizens. The protests, which began in response to the raids, have transformed into a larger movement advocating for immigrant rights and calling for an end to aggressive immigration enforcement. Finneas and other artists are using their influence to rally support and encourage peaceful demonstrations, emphasizing the importance of community solidarity in the face of adversity. As the situation unfolds, it remains to be seen how the government will respond to the growing unrest and whether the voices of the protesters will lead to meaningful change in immigration policy. For now, the streets of Los Angeles echo with calls for justice, compassion, and a reevaluation of how the nation treats its most vulnerable populations. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.